you might want to tune out now. That's not a great thing to say at the start of the video. People normally say subscribe and click the thumbs up. They normally don't start with go away. So not all of you. 99% of you are perfectly fine. But I do forewarn you, as the youngsters would say, not going to lie, what's about to follow is a rant about David Moyes. And just as always, some people get quite upset when we do this. But only a very, very small percentage. So I'm just saying, rather than get upset and then tell us in the comments you're upset, then you might want to check out now, because myself and Geo don't go in two footies. We're not criticising David Moyes as a manager. We are highly critical of him anyway. So that's what you're about to see, and it is a bit long-winded. There's about 13-14 minutes of myself and Geo whinging about David Moyes. Why are we showing you this miserable old content about David Moyes, I hear you ask? Well, it's because I'm trying to sell you a Patreon package, quite frankly. I'm trying to get you to sign up to Hammers Chat's third channel, which is our Patreon channel, for the pure and simple reason that, well, have you seen the price of Bisto gravy in Tesco? £3.10. Not even for the posh gravy. The standard Bisto gravy is £3.10 in little Tesco, in Tesco Express. Anyway, so the reason we're able to do this as a job and run 3 Hammers Chat channels, this one, the other Hammers Chat channel, and our Patreon, is, well, 3 reasons. Those annoying adverts you just sat through, they help. Thanks very much for watching those, by the way. Secondly, ETC Sports. I can't remember, whatever. I'm not doing a dance. Somewhere up there is the ETC Sports logo. Great supporters of the channel. West Ham fans as well. Love them. Thank you so much. Thirdly, Patreon. Basically, Patreon subscriptions. The main reason to sign up to Patreon is to try and support Hammers Chat, to allow us to do this for a job, and we keep all the content coming. But as a perk, we don't ask you to give your money over for nothing. We give you loads of extra stuff. So, funny enough, later on I'm having an interview. I'm interviewing Anton Ferdinand, who is part of the Hammers Chat team. I'm going to ask him about fatigue. I'm going to ask him, are we overreacting? Is fatigue a real thing? Should David Moyes, that's what I'm going to ask him, should David Moyes have rotated against Crystal Palace or Liverpool? I'll ask him. He won't shirk, by the way. He won't give like a media-trained answer. He'll give the full answer. Actually, I'm going to ask him about the defending against Crystal Palace. I'll ask him about the under-18s. I'm going to ask him lots of stuff. One of the perks of being involved in Patreon is you get to ask Anton questions as well. It's not just that. We have Hammerlytics, which is really great analytics. Want to know analysis and analytics of West Ham? We've got the show for you. It's called Hammerlytics. Clever, see? We've got two Spanners, One Hammer. We have got opposition previews. We have got breakfast shows. We have got player ratings. That's the clip you're going to see in a moment. It's the player ratings from Crystal Palace. As I say, we go in a little bit. We go in a little bit on David Moyes. Anyway, if you fancy signing up to Patreon, there's 3 different tiers. £3 a month, Hammers Chat Supporter. £5.50 a month, which is Hammers Chat Mild Addict. £10 a month, that's the full Hammers Chat Addict. Basically, you get everything on there. You get all the videos, all the discount on our online store, WhatsApp groups, just all manner of stuff. Actually, we do have a little Addicts Golf Day, I believe, coming up at some point soon. Don't quote me on that. It's not done. It's not finalised yet. And we also will be doing an event, a live event, later on in the year. Maybe I've said too much. Maybe I wasn't meant to say that. Anyway, shh. Let's pretend I haven't said it. Geo probably won't even watch this. Don't mention the event. Anyway, myself and Geo now are going to be whinging about David Moyes. Do that or do that if you're slightly squeamish about it. Right, over to me. Actually, I'm so useless at this stuff. I just remembered, before I do over to me, I haven't told you how you to subscribe to Patreon. I'm not recording all this over again. It's patreon.com/Hammers Chat. The link is in the description below. You just type into Google Hammers Chat Patreon. It will come up and you can sign up. If you don't like it, you can just unsubscribe. Go and check it out. We'd very much appreciate it. Now, for the second time, over to me and Gio.
It feels like a punishment watching David Moyes operate at the moment. It really does. He's so bad at what he's meant to be doing. He's so bad. Be it the rotation, I mean, everything. And you feel like, just when you can't take any more slaps, he goes and brings Cornet on in the 89th minute. By that point, I've gone past depression. I'm laughing. I'm like Chief Inspector Dreyfus from the Pink Panther, sort of giggling hysterically because my nerves have got the better of me and I've gone completely bonkers. As I watched that game and I was watching the managers, was it just me or did Roy Hodgson get progressively younger throughout the game and a little bit more tanned? and he started to glow. He looked a little bit more healthy, almost a little bit more continental. I thought he's even his jacket and everything was hanging nice. I thought, hold on. I don't know if anyone's seen Dracula, the BBC one. Basically, gradually sucks the life out of the guy that's gone to see him, and he basically takes his youth and he takes his mojo, and it gives Dracula basically the strength. Basically, Dracula grows and the other guy shrinks and becomes a shriveled old vampire, right? And Dracula gets all his mojo. And I was sort of watching it, and and Moyes is getting more and more weathered and worn. Roy Hodgson's looking younger, more tanned. He said, at one point he sort of stood there like this, and Ray Lewington was running around doing his shouting and all the rest of it, doing all the screaming. Roy didn't care. It was cohort. He thought he was going to start doing that. I thought Moyes was schooled by Roy Hodgson, aside from the set plays, which I'm pretty sure they will deal with. I think there's a ton of stuff. The fatigue, he's not learned. Playing against fast teams, he's not learned. It's the same old. And I personally, I am absolutely sick of it. He does not know how to use Danny Ings at all. He goes and signs this boy Cornet. Make up your mind. Are you punishing him? In which case, don't bloody play him. Are you punishing him for going off to see the specialist in France? Whatever the case may be, or not, or did you want him? Is he the answer? Is this guy that can play anywhere? What I just don't get it. What's the point? What's the absolute point? And he goes and does the thing with Soucek, and this is the performance we've been waiting for. I don't know how many games we've had to lose for Soucek to put this performance in. All right. So that annoyed me. Oh, right, okay, it's finally worked. Oh, do you know what? We've only lost 20 bloody games, or whatever the case might be. The whole thing, the Agurd, you're absolutely right. The Agurd thing frustrated the hell out of me when he got moved to right centre back. Frustrated the absolute hell out of me by him doing that. I just don't know what he's doing. I don't think he knows what he's doing at all, and he's like a baby. I look at him and he's like a baby. He's got all this experience. He talks about the experience and all this stuff. And I know I'm going to hear it. I'm going to hear it, and he's going to bloody say it soon about fixture congestion. And I might just start headbutting the wall or something like that. Because as I've always said with David Moyes, he views these things as detached. He views them as he's just become aware of them, and he's detached from it, like they've got nothing to do with him. Like the signings earlier on in the season. Oh, you know what? These signings are not really working out. Oh, fuck off, mate. Do you know what I mean? Excuse me, apologies. And and I honestly, he's gonna, we've had a run. He's been talking last month. He said we got April coming up. We've got an unprecedented number of games in April. Said it a couple of weeks ago. We've got 3 games in 6 days. So he knows this stuff. He's got the squad. There it is. No Alex Crow, no Vlasic. Don't worry about it. Go on, players that you like on there, use them. And he's going to get there, and I know he's going to say it. When the shit hits the fan, he's going to turn around and he's going to say, well, we had a lot of fixture congestion, and he's going to act like the victim, like he always does, like he's got nothing to do with him at all. I'm absolutely sick of the bloke.
That was a good rant. I enjoyed that.
Oh, right. Well, there you go.
What do you think patrons gave Moyes?
A none.
A 2.5.
Oh, well, nice patron.
I'm going to give him a 3.
Oh,
I'm giving him a 3. I think when your players are that shite, there's only so much you can blame the manager for. But Moyes is getting a 3 because Agurd was that crap, and Rice was that crap, and Paqueta was that crap. But his halftime substitutions genuinely baffled me. Listen, was Emerson and Fanals good? No. But yesterday, there was a large part of that game was about fatigue and energy and fitness, and he took off the 2 players that could last 90 minutes, and he reverted back. We came out in the second half with 11 that started against Liverpool, and I honestly could not believe what I was witnessing, because I thought, what are you doing? You've now got 2 subs left, and you've now got 11 players that have started against Liverpool in the second half against Crystal Palace, and I was genuinely just watching the TV, almost shocked, and I think I was almost shocked to be shocked as well. But I just thought, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? It wasn't working, right? At least he was ripping into Emerson. So help Emerson out. But because you've subbed him off at half time and you've done it with Fanals, you can't use them now. You cannot go to the Etihad and play Emerson at left back and then Fernand's left wing. You can't do it because any smidgen of confidence they've had has just been destroyed by what taking them off at halftime against Crystal Palace. You basically just said to them, you basically said to the whole squad, these are my 11 players over the last few weeks. These are my, sorry, Flynn, Manuel, you're not in it. This is my 11 players. And you basically said to Pablo and Emerson, actually, you two, you're 12 and 13, in you go. And then at halftime, he's going, actually, fuck it. No, you're not. Get back out here. Go back with my 11 kind of thing. He's got a squad, but he's got 11 players. We've got such a big squad. Ben Johnson has not yet made the bench in the last 2 or 3 games because there's that many senior players. But he refuses to change them. If you look at the players that are in the squad that we may have to use, Johnson's confidence is gone.
Yeah.
Emerson's confidence must be done. Fernandez is done. What's Lanzini got? He's got nothing about him. Ings, he doesn't know how to use. Cornet, he doesn't know how to use or won't use, but there's no much sharpness or nothing. You go through that bench, they're no longer viable options now. They're just players. They're making up numbers. We've basically swapped Vlasic for Maxwel Cornet. That's all we've done. Get rid of one player that he doesn't want to use and just get another one in, and then we'll deal with him in the summer kind of thing. And we've got the swap Crowell for Flynn Downs, someone that gets a run out in European games that don't really mean anything. But what about the... Oh, no, we don't play him in that one because he doesn't score enough headers in the opposition
Can I say this? Sorry, I'll just remember it. David Moyes had said a little while ago, within the last 4 weeks, relatively recently, that some players are unhappy, but he has assured them that there's plenty of games coming up and they'll play. His words. Absolutely, his words. He's not done it. He's not done it.
That's because Pablo Fernandez, not Pablo Fernandez, sorry. That's because Flynn Downs sat next to him in a press conference and said, I want more minutes. And since then, I don't think he's got a fucking minute. I could be wrong. I don't think he's played him at all, is he? I think he came off the bench once, I think. But your point is sound, yes.
Which
is like, you want more minutes, do you, sunshine? We'll have a bit of this. You're going to get fucking less now.
I'll show you his boss. Yeah.
How
dare you?
You don't get to say that about wanting more minutes. How dare you want to play more minutes? Right, that's it. Like you said, normally the player of the press conference starts the next game. It's a very unusual thing.
That's the thing. For those of you that didn't see that, because I think we discussed it in a preview and a build up. It's general etiquette in football that for the next match, and they all do it, be it international, be it Gareth Southgate, anyone does it. You're meant to bring yourself, the manager, the press office, bring your manager and a player. It's general etiquette to bring a player that's going to feature in the game. It's seen as bad form if you want to try and throw a curveball at your opposition manager by bringing in a player that's not going to play. So that's why a lot of people bring their captains in, or it's a no-brainer. Eddie Howe bring Kieran Trippier in. It's a no-brainer, right? That's what they do in the press, ask a few questions. Before the game, the European game, he brought in Flynn Downs and sat next to him. And then he didn't play him in the game. And the thing is, all the players know that as well. It's not just the press know that. The press know, if I'm brought in for the press conference, I'm going to play in the game. And I tell you what, I would, and that's what I said this, he'd have been fuming, Flynn Downs, to be dragged into that press conference. He would have thought $1 billion. It's one thing not picking someone. I think it's another thing putting them up there and then, actually, I'm not selecting him. Right, okay. I mean, that's got to be hard because these boys all want to play football.
I'm going to finish off with 2 comments from patrons. Thank you to everybody. We started doing a separate patron player ratings thread now where I get all your ratings and then I put up the link with the videos. Thanks to everybody who does get involved. Massively appreciate it. But there's 2 comments regarding David Moyes, which I'm going to read out just to end the video. The first one is from Paul, says, I have said all along that Moyes has no actual intention of evolving despite 200 million. Fact is, he's incapable. He's been out-tacticed by elite end managers, Pep, Klopp, young progressive managers such as Arteta and De Zerbi, and now an older and retired manager, Hodgson. A genuinely unique hat-trick of disaster management. Then Brian said, thank you, Brian, said, Moyes is getting a 0 out of 10 from him. 0 game management over the last few games have come to this performance. Players need a rest, others need minutes, and he's done neither. Have some sympathy for some players, but tiredness got the best of us. Hope we improve, as I don't want us to need points in the last 2 games against Leeds or Leicester. If we lose the next 3 league games, which is highly possible, I think Moyes will throw the semi-finals. So, there you go.
He's in a position of his own making. I think that's the thing. This is where he is now. He will view it as detached, but he is in a position of his own making now. And if he does, that will be it. If he throws that semi-final, that's his epitaph. That will be it. That really will. Because he didn't have to. He really didn't have to. After the Bournemouth game, we were in a peachy position.
We were in a really good 6 points clear with the points difference, with the goal difference. Sorry,
that
it
was the leeway.
lead.
The leeway we never thought we'd have. He got us there, and he deserved credit for getting us there for that.
Yeah.
But he got us there into that position. And the benefit of that position was we could rest, so we wouldn't be in a position we were last season, which was knackered for a semi-final. Now we're there, right? Okay, rest the squad. And I even said, Geo, don't. It's not just rest them. Give them the day off. Send them away. Say to them, I mean, actually, you know what? Come in for a little rub. Said it. Come in for a little rub down on Tuesday. But then you go. You're not even going to train, and take Wednesday off. Take the family away with us, and we'll see you Thursday morning. That's what he should have been doing with players, and he's not, and he's flogged them, and now they're knackered.
Anyway, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back Wednesday morning to the Man City. Oh, wonderful! We'll see you Wednesday morning for the breakfast show ahead of the Man City game. We'll catch you then.